1. The Sasquatch sighting. I was roughly 8 or 9 and on a camping trip with my family in northern Ontario, roughly 2 hours north of Thunder Bay. We camped in a pretty remote area, but we did see several other campers and hikers along the trails, so we weren't totally isolated. Everything is going fine and well. That's when my dad asks me to go get some small twigs for a fire while he split some logs. I had to take my younger sister, who would have been 5 or 6 at the time, along with me. We make it to a clearing, I want to say no more than 100 meters away, and we start picking up little twigs and dry leaves and other dumb kid stuff we picked up. I walked to one spot in particular and noticed a heavy musk in the air, distinctively smelling like gasoline and sewage. That's probably the best way I can describe it. That's when I started anxiously scanning around and noticed, next to and a little hidden behind a tree, was this large mass of what I assume was fur. I started to panic and booked it towards my sister with my back to a fucking bear. I make it to her and grab her wrist and start to pull as hard as I can, begging her to follow me back to the camp. That's when this thing stood up. I heard rustling in the woods in the spot the bear was, only it wasn't a bear. All I got was a side profile view of it, but what I saw has haunted me my entire life. The head, sloped forehead and brow, flared nostrils, deep sunken eyes. I will never forget the eyes, especially the body. It stood towering above anything I had ever seen. Almost to the low-hanging branches of trees, roughly 8 feet tall, give or take. This is the only glimpse I got of this thing because it just took off like lightning. It was there 1 minute and gone with a crash through the foliage in the blink of an eye. I walked back to my camp as fast as I could and cried myself to sleep that night. Also the origin of my username and my unwavering belief of Sasquatch. 2. Grandfather. My grandfather passed away in my childhood home the night my sister was born. He died in his bedroom in his sleep on the top floor of the house. Now, I have always been a big believer in the afterlife, spirits, poltergeists, etc., so this one didn't so much scare me as leave me with a warm feeling. Anyway, it's my sister's 23rd birthday and we're all sitting at home around the table with the cake. Everything goes the way you'd expect a birthday party to go. My mother and I were sitting next to each other, which would put us facing the stairwell, and all 3 landings were in view. I was looking down at my phone doing who knows what when I hear a gasp, "Oh my god." I look up immediately to see a faded image man slowly shuffling his way from one end of the top landing to the other, and as mysteriously as it came it disappeared. I speculate this was my grandfather. We all do. Hi Papu. Firstly, I might mention that my family, and the families of my mother's siblings, live on the lot where my grandfather's family farm used to be. The original farmhouse is still there, and being rented out to some random family. All of my grandfather's kids have brand new houses. My grandfather had a pretty tough childhood. Older brother had Down syndrome, mother developed natal depression, was put in a psych ward and lobotomized. I have no idea if this is relevant for any haunting, but may be worth mentioning. The incidents happened over a period between me being in the 6th and 9th grade. It started one day after school, midday around 3 p.m. or so. I had a friend over with me, and we went upstairs to go to the bathroom, as us schoolgirls do. When you go up the stairs to our 2nd floor, you have my parents' bedroom, door constantly shut, straight ahead, and the bathroom to the right. As we get to the top of the staircase, the handle on the door to my parents' room begin to turn downwards as if someone's opening it. We both notice it immediately, panic, and start moving faster towards the bathroom. By the time we get in the door and lock it, we saw the door to my parents' room being opened slightly. At this time we were home alone. Over the next years some regular occurrences followed, such as items falling over, regular banging, knocking on the glass door, going out to one of our porches, next to the living room, dog barking at said noise. Our dog seemed to be strangely fascinated by the area outside the door, which is just overlooking our porch and my aunt's driveway. The dog would sit there and stare for hours every night and bark every now and then, which was odd as she rarely ever barked at anything her entire life. The creepiest reoccurring incident was that I was awoken, close to, every night for the next 3 to 4 years by someone opening the door to my bedroom at exactly 3:03 a.m. As I learned maybe 1 year after the first incident, this is supposedly the hour of demons or something. Even though I practically discard any form for paranormality and such, these incidents still freak me out.